Good evening, everybody, and welcome yet again to another Edifying Moment with myself, Lucy Dadson. It is a great pleasure, and honestly, I'm so thankful for joining me once again for another episode. 2 weeks ago, actually, it's funny how time really flies. 2 weeks ago, I had a lovely Latoya, who joined me, and we were speaking about all the trials that she was facing when we were focusing on overcoming barriers. But this month of September, we are focusing on sickle cell. Sickle cell is a month of awareness, and it's a time for all of us and to just be more informed about sickle cell, to know more about it, to find out ways in which we can educate ourselves and also support those that are actually suffering from this illness actually. So it's important for us at Ladies in Waiting as a community to really dive in and really know exactly what people are facing and how we can support them in the best way possible. But yes, welcome once again to Edifying Moments. I'm back again, and it's great to be back and to consistently be joined by yourselves who have tuned in wherever you are. Please do let me know where you are in the comment section, and this has been brought to you by Ladies in Waiting, and we're going to really dive into a really deep and I think very much important as well and educating subject today, which we're focusing on, which is called sickle cell. So this evening, please follow us on all our social media platforms on our Ladies in Waiting page. Just posting it up now for all information about what we have coming up for our interviews, our events. We also have our coffee mornings, which will be taking place this Saturday, actually. First Saturday of every month, we have coffee mornings, and coffee mornings is an opportunity for women within the Ladies in Waiting team and within the Ladies in Waiting network to come together, speak about things that we're facing, whether that be mental health, anything with family, marriage, whatever the case may be. We're talking about it. So if you are interested in joining a women's network where you are able to be encouraged, edified, motivated, then Ladies in Waiting is definitely the place for you. So please make sure you follow us on our social media platforms. As well as that, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to kindly subscribe. Send us a comment, send us a DM. Let us know where you're tuning in from. It'd be great to see who's tuning in today and to find out where you guys are listening from, because we know that obviously being on this platform, we're reaching so many people, so many different people. So it'd be good to know where you guys are listening in from. But I hope you've all had a fantastic day so far, and a good week as well. I believe that the time is going so fast. 2020, I don't even know where it's gone. But we thank God that we're all alive and we're, able to have such a great conversation with this amazing young lady who has joined me. Honestly, it's one thing to, be dealing with any kind of sickness or any kind of disease, but it's another to also put yourself out there and really help to encourage, support, and also be vulnerable, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So I definitely commend this young lady who will be joining me this evening to share her story with us. And I'm really looking forward to it, because just having looked through her page and having gotten to see what she's been going through, but yet she's still sailing through with life, is honestly remarkable and also inspiring to me. And I hope that our conversation this evening will inspire you at home as well. So definitely make sure, get yourself ready, whether that being you need a cup of tea, a glass of orange juice, whatever the case may be, a notepad, whatever you need to make some notes. And also make sure you share this live as well with anyone that you think would benefit of this. It would be great to have more people on here so we can share. Don't hold this information for yourself, but share with friends, family, whoever you think would benefit from this. Okay, so with regards to sickle cell, sickle cell disorder predominantly affects people of Black, African, and Caribbean heritage, and it's now one of the UK's fastest growing genetic conditions. And this is something that we don't really talk about within our Black communities. So I think it's very important for us to have this conversation that we're having this evening. So I have a young lady who is a sickle cell warrior, a wife, a mother of two, and she also spreads awareness and shares her experiences on balancing sickle cell with everyday life through her social media. And in addition to that, she's also very passionate about educating people on the real effects of living with sickle cell and why it's also important to know your genotypes before having children. And in her profile, this really stood out to me. It says in her Instagram profile, just trying to be great and win in this life. I mean, if you're if you've got sickle cell, you're a mother, and you're trying to win, you're winning in this life with everything that's going on. the only thing you can do is win. And honestly, that really inspired me when I read that. And this evening, it gives me great privilege and a great honor to welcome the beautiful, amazing, the warrior, and a true inspiration to all. And she goes by the name of Debbie Tando. Thank you so much for joining me, Debbie. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm very, very well. How's your day been? What have you been up to?
So I've just been home with the kids. That's usually what I do from day to day. Yeah, trying to get them ready for school next week. So literally just been
Nice.
at home. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so in the month of September, we're focusing on sickle cell. This is a Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and I just want you to just take us through a journey of growing. You as a as Debbie, who we want to know who Debbie is. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a 30-something year old young. I'm married, like you said. I've got 2 children, and yeah, I suffered with sickle cell. Obviously, from birth, I was diagnosed at 8 months, and
Okay.
I can say that life has been a struggle. Life has been hard, but that's the cross I've been given to bear. So I just live through it.
Okay, so take me through the time where you were diagnosed with sickle cell. Was it at an early age? Take me through when you were aware that you had sickle cell.
So my parents say I was diagnosed at 8 months. So obviously
Okay.
I don't really remember. I just remember always being ill, always being sort of isolated, always being alone, because my parents really sheltered me. They really tried to shield me because they didn't want me to get ill. Yeah. I think the earliest memory I have of being ill and sickle cell really affected me was in primary school. I'm not sure what year I was, but I just remember that I got so ill, literally had to physically carry me out of the class.
Wow.
And I wasn't able to go out to PE. I wasn't able to go on trips. And women always, put aside like, oh, she's ill. She has to stay in the nurse's office. I just remember as a young child. So then there's where I knew that, okay, there's something wrong with me. I'm other pain that I used to go through, but the way I sort of from everybody else made me realize that, yeah, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah. So even before we move on to you now knowing you have sickle cell and now being more educated on it, please could you explain to myself and also those that are listening today what sickle cell actually is?
So sickle cell is a blood genetic disorder. So you have to inherit it from both parents.
Okay.
So both had the trait, which is both had the trait and they didn't know. It was 30-something years ago. There wasn't enough education about it. So yeah, they came to it. You get it from both parents.
Okay. So with that, so just to explain, because you mentioned that you were going through pain. So what's the cause of the pain that you have?
So it's your red blood cells, transport oxygen through your body, and with sickle, sometimes our red blood cells can lose their O shape, which is holding the oxygen. So it gets into like a moon shape, and it gets all clogged up. So as it's clogging up, it's in your veins, and there's go into different parts of your body. So then that causes excruciating pain. It can so much pain that you can even pass out. Like, so yeah, that.
Yeah, yes, of course. So I am familiar with it. I think it's for me. I think I became more aware of sickle cell when I went to uni actually, because there were a few. I knew of a friend actually that had sickle cell, and there was a time in which she had so much pain to the point where she had to. I think she stopped in the middle of the road. She was driving and she couldn't move, and I was like, the extent of this pain. It must be so excruciating. I can't even begin to imagine the level of pain. So with everything that's going on, you were diagnosed at quite an early age. For some, it's not so much the story. So now that you're growing up now, so going through life, how has that been for you? How did you deal with that? How did you cope with knowing that you have sickle cell? Because that's going to affect so many things come into your mind. So how was growing up with sickle cell like?
like I said, there was a point that I felt very lonely. I
Yeah.
was I was very lonely, and that's because of my parents. My dad,
Mm,
the idea of me even leaving the house, like he put
yeah.
so much. Do you know what I mean? When
Mm,
I was young, I used to be so upset with him, but I realized why he died. But yeah, growing up, it was hard. It
mm,
was hospital to hospital, from
mm,
just missing out on a lot of school, missing out on opportunities. I didn't have a lot of friends. It
mm,
was difficult.
mm, mm. So, regards to your parents as well, obviously they knew the pain that you were going through, so they definitely had to shelter you. And as you said, you now understand why. So, am I right in saying that you were from either you're obviously from a an African
Yeah,
background? Is that right in saying? So,
yeah.
what country are you originally from?
I'm
You're from Ghana. Okay. Well it also says in your surname as well, but I know that you're married as well. So I didn't want to make that assumption. But okay, so do you feel as though your parents were well educated with regards to your condition and could have maybe done better, or do you think you being shielded was the best thing for you?
in the beginning. They were young.
Mm,
30. My mum was like 30 when she had me. You know,
okay. Okay.
very young, just coming from Africa. And in
Mm,
Africa, they are very ignorant to an extent, if I could say that.
okay. Okay.
A taboo subject in Ghana, sort of. It's like, I've heard people say this before, like, yeah, before, like, it's a sort of illness sort of thing. So I feel like
Yeah.
they really didn't know what to do. But growing up, my mum became a nurse, and
Oh, okay.
she became a nurse, and she still is a nurse now.
Oh,
And
nice.
in the beginning, they didn't know much about it. They just knew that
Mm,
they're ill. Um, but growing up, they're clued up. Boy. They
mm,
know, you know, yeah.
mm.
So
And out of your so were you also part of a family, a big family with regards to that? Did you have any siblings as well? Did you grow up with any siblings?
I've got siblings, but they both came to live with us later on in life. So
Okay, okay,
I, I was the only child for a while. I think my
okay,
first when I was about, I'll say 13, 14. So for the first 15 years, I was
okay,
alone.
okay, okay. So when they came to join you, and knowing that your parents had been so protective of you, considering what you're going through, was there a change in the dynamics of the relationship within your family when everyone came together?
No, not really. Everyone was just very protective of my siblings, even to this day. That everyone just, and because I'm still the youngest, I was
Oh, okay,
so yeah. Everyone just went
yeah.
along, like Debbie's sick. Everyone knows what to do. Like everyone was very
Mm.
protective. Yeah,
That's fantastic. That's really, really good because you find as though some people are not so clued up, and it's a great thing to know that your mum as well became a nurse, and maybe
yeah,
that might have also been the motivating factor for her to be, to be able to be educated enough to help her
mhm,
daughter and also help other people. So we
yeah,
definitely, recommend commend, sorry, your mum for taking that on as her own like kind of responsibility to be there
yeah.
for you and also for other people as well. So big up to mums, always, always, always doing the best. But so now that you're growing up and you're living with sickle cell. How did that affect your relationships growing up as a teenager, into adulthood? How did that affect you?
So what sort of relationship? Friendship, relationships, or with men or her, or
Okay, I think let's firstly dive with just friendships in general, just friendships with your girlfriends, boys, friends, yeah, just friendships like that.
I think now I can count maybe less than 5 people that have stuck by me. Other
Wow.
than my friends, I can maybe
Yeah.
count, and and that's because I don't blame people though. I don't
Mm,
blame people because sickle cell is a condition not understood still. So
mm, mm,
oh well, Debbie was fine this day, so why is she not coming out with us this day? Oh well, I spoke to Debbie yesterday. It was okay, but she's not coming to my birthday today. She claims she's sick, but I really am sick. People
mm,
transition, like 1 minute you're fine, the next minute you're ill. So because of that, you lose a lot of friends. And
mm, mm,
I have to keep explaining myself and explaining it. And when it gets to a while, after a while, I just I can't explain no more. Do you know what I mean? If you don't understand it, then I'm
Mm,
sorry. Nothing more I
mm,
can do. Like I said,
mm,
I have maybe 5 friends that have stuck by me and seen me miss
mm.
their weddings, miss their children's ceremonies, but still are able to realize
Wow.
it's not her fault.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that it's just a case of people don't want to understand, or they
It,
understand but they think they're not? What do you think it is?
it could be that maybe they just can't be bothered enough to understand, but then I also feel like maybe there's generally a lack of understanding generally, because like Lucy, you need to see it to believe it. I could be fine
Mm,
one
mm,
moment, chilling,
mm,
everything's
mhm,
fine. The very
mm,
next moment I could be screaming on the floor. So if you don't really have an understanding, you're gonna think she's lying. She was fine a minute ago. Do you see what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm,
So you need to have an understanding of the
mm,
that no, it it can change like this.
mm,
It,
mm. So, yeah, of course. So how does one gain better understanding? How does one do that?
educate yourself. Like, how do you educate yourself about anything else? You read the
Mm,
book. There's YouTube these days. I know
mhm,
there's still enough information that there should be, but
mm,
but for YouTube and the internet, just and
mm,
ask questions.
mm,
Ask.
mm, mm,
And if I'm your friend,
mm.
I'm the person to ask.
Yeah, of course, of course. And do you feel as though people may think that it might make you feel uncomfortable to ask you? Because I mean, not everyone.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? It could be a case where we don't want to ask too many questions because we don't want to be so insensitive, but at the same time we want to ask questions so we are more informed. So how do we gauge the balance between those two?
I think when I was younger, I didn't speak about it at all, so maybe people could have asked then, because
Okay. Okay.
I was embarrassed, or if it was a thing where I just thought it's not your business or what. But I didn't speak about it at all. But growing up,
Mm,
I need to know. People need to realize that
mm,
it's not something to play with. You need to know about it. You need
mm,
so you can stay clear from it. That's
mm, mm, mm,
at this
mm,
age. I want people to ask as many questions as you want.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think that's really good to hear that. I mean, obviously it's an individual basis, but for someone such as yourself, you're open for
Mm-hmm.
people to ask you questions because it's important, especially being as a friend and as Homer just said, as a true friend, you should do your research because if you claim to be there for someone and you claim to love someone as your friend, you have to do the research. So I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. So, would you say, with regards to not really talking about it as much, did that affect you in your romantic relationships when you got into a romantic relationship? Was it something you said in the beginning, or you were so much not open to speaking about it? How was that like?
So in college and uni, do dates and stuff with guys. But
Yeah.
I would, you don't understand. They would be
Mm,
me. You look like you're uncomfortable. I'm in pain, but I'm hiding it. I would never. I don't know why I done that. To be honest, I don't know. Like I said, if it was because I was embarrassed, or
yeah.
I just didn't tell people, especially guys. They would know I'm hospital, and food poisoning every day. I've got food poisoning. These guys
Oh
are
wow.
probably in because I just didn't
Yeah.
feel enough to speak about it. But
Mm,
with my husband,
mm,
I, like I don't know about ladies waiting, but I my background is of Christian faith. Like I am firm in my faith. I believe that God does everything for a reason.
mm,
Like
mm.
my husband, I met him in hospital.
Oh
That's
wow.
that's how God does things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm growing. I need to get married. This, that, and God sends my husband to the hospital.
Mm, yeah. You.
So
Mm,
yeah, it would like. But other than my other guys I've ever met, they would find out eventually. Some
mm,
will say, some won't.
mm,
Things happen. We check in blood types. Not everybody's compatible with you, but
mhm.
it was nothing that sit there and speak about. It's nothing that I'm doing now. I would have never done before.
Mm, mm, mm. So, what do you think? Obviously, you mentioned that God God just brought you two together, your husband that you're with now. So what made it different with him? What was the difference when you told him, or how did you tell him actually? How did you tell him?
Like I said, he worked in the hospital, so before we had a really romantic relationship, we sort of were friends. He would always see me there. You know,
okay.
Would always see me, and obviously, if you see someone once in hospital, you're gonna realize that.
You're serious, yeah.
So even when I went down to him, he was like, I know. So God made that so easy for me. You have to explain nothing. I didn't. He knew.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, as you said, God actually he just puts everything together, because in your wildest dreams, would you ever have thought, oh, you meet your husband in a hospital? And that's how God works. For those that, are faith, are Christians, God finds different ways of, bringing the partner that you need, because going through everything you're going through, you need someone that understands. You need someone that will be there for you and wouldn't even think twice as to what to do, because he's informed, which is fantastic. So absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So with so I want us to dive a bit more into with regards to also your social life and work. How has that affected you as well? Having sickle cell, how's that affected?
I got my first job at the age of 17 and was 3 weeks later. So that goes to show you that thing was going to be a tiresome thing. So they told me I was again, I was unreliable. That's the word.
Wow.
Would have to call in. I'm sick today. Oh, I'm not well today. I have to have a blood transfusion today, so I can't come in.
Yeah.
So, but as a young girl, you want to make money. Your friends are, buying. So I kept on. I would get a job. Then I'd have to leave because I'm unreliable. So the last time I have worked was just before I had my daughter.
Okay.
I worked with young offenders, and I loved that. It was good. It worked for me, and all of that. But after a while, I got pregnant with my daughter, and I decided to leave because of health problems with my pregnancy and stuff. So after that, I haven't been back to work. I've just been home with my children.
Okay. So are you planning to maybe transition to go back to work as time goes on, or would you opt for maybe something more remote in that sense?
For now, I don't see myself going back to a full-time job. No, but I'm working. Me and my mum have plans to start. I've also started a mini cupcake business. Always try and plug in a small cupcake busy when I'm not ill. But other than that, my mum and my have plans of how I can get back into work, a family business. Yeah.
Sure. So something that's a bit more flexible that you can work around really is really ideal. And it's just really disappointing to know that people would employers would amount the fact that you're not able to attend work knowing that you have sickle cell and deem you as unreliable. Honestly, it blows my mind.
This is what I'm saying. People don't know about sickle cell. White people. I had to explain to my manager. I had a friend that I started. I used to work in House of Fraser. I had a very good friend. He's still one of my friends I can count on my hands. We used to work together, and every ambulance had to come and take me from the workplace one time, and apparently the manager was so angry, saying she was fine a minute ago, blah blah blah, and I'm gonna let her go. I was like, you can't let her go. You need to understand. So people just, like I said, people don't know. It's not something that you can just say and somebody will get it. It's not cancer. It's not. Do you know what I mean? People don't know about it, and that's the problem. But it is as serious as cancer, and as serious as every other thing. It is as everything else. But there's no education about it. There's no funding for education. Yeah.
That's really disappointing, and I just hope that even as we in the month of September, it shouldn't even just be a month of September for sickle cell awareness. In my opinion, I personally think as though sickle cell is something that many people do not talk about, and from just even employers, that should be something that they are trained on. That should be something that they're aware of from the beginning, from the moment that they get employed. Every single employee should be informed about this. But it's really unfortunate. But I really do hope that as you're planning to do something more centered around your time, it allows you to do what you want to do, because you don't want to have that burden of thinking your health comes first. At the end of the day, your health comes first, not your employer. So if they can't understand that, then you got to do what's best for you. But honestly, I wish you all the best with that. And we can't forget your beautiful children. Your one boy and one girl. Please tell us the names of your children. How old are they? How are they with mummy? How's everything with them?
I've got Ava. Ava's 4.
Nice.
And Juju, well, Caleb, but we call him Juju at home, and he's and when I say handful, they are handfuls, but yeah, they keep going.
Awesome. So I know you also, I know you mentioned in terms of your pregnancy as well. How was that process? Having your triggers. We'll dive a bit more into the triggers and things like that. But having your your episode. Episode is the right word for me to use?
A crisis.
Yes. Yeah, your crisis. Sorry. Yeah. So how was that? How was your pregnancy like?
Okay, so I got ill so much more. So imagine I'm in hospital, maybe 30% of my life. I was in hospital 60%. Like, wow. I was always in hospital. I was always in some sort of pain. And with both pregnancies, but I was, I just thought, you know what, maybe this is what everyone else goes through. Pregnancy is not easy. So, I should expect. My doctor, even before I got pregnant, told me never to try and have children. So me being pregnant, I was determined to see this pregnancy through. I even want more children. That's for another story. But yeah, when I had Ava, I became paralyzed from waist down.
Wow.
So it's been hard. It's been so hard.
Wow.
It's been so hard. So even having Juju, I was so scared. I was prayer that took me through it. Literally, I was always praying, and God was faithful with Juju. I didn't really have no super problems after, but yeah.
Wow. So you were paralyzed with your first daughter.
Yeah.
With your daughter.
Yeah.
So how did it, like, what happened? I mean, I'm actually even lost for words to even see you sitting here now is a testimony in itself, So how did you get through it? Yeah, how did you get through it?
Again, I have an amazing family. Like, when I say I have an amazing family, people don't understand. Like, God just brings people. God brings people your way. My dad is also a pastor, so obviously when I say family, I mean biological family, and I've got a church family.
Yeah.
Everyone just came together. It's like, everyone just knew what to do. I was in hospital for 3 months after I gave birth to Ava. She had to come home with my mum. So even now, their bond is like this. I feel like she thinks that's her mum. Like, they are so close. But I have an amazing family. That's all I can say. Everyone just knew what to do. I had all the help. My cousins will come in and help me with physio that the physiotherapist is meant to be doing. They won't be doing it. They left me hanging. It was my cousins that was helping me walk. They told me I wouldn't walk for a year. I started walking within 3 months.
Wow. If not for your family and the support system you had around you, God knows what could have happened. You probably wouldn't have been able to walk again because of the negligence from that. And let's talk about the support from the NHS and the health services. How has that been during this time since you've been diagnosed?
I won't complain because I've been to hospital in Ghana, and I just feel like how do they do it?
Yeah.
With London, it's not the best, but I can't complain. I get what I need. I can call an ambulance and an ambulance will come and get me. You know,
Yeah.
you get doctors and nurses that are so ridiculous and oblivious, but I can't complain. I've been to Ghana and the hospital, I thought I'm not gonna come out of this alive. So comparing the two, I think before I had ever been in hospital in Ghana, I was complaining about London, this, that, blah. But seeing the two, I can't complain.
The comparison between the two. But would you also say that there is more that the NHS and the health services can do here? What type of things do you think that they could do to improve the support that they give to sickle cell patients?
There's so much. There's things. There's sort of treatments that I'm battling for myself.
Right.
I shouldn't have to fight my own treatments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need certain treatments, and that they can see that I can need. I mean, they see that I need. Sorry.
Yeah.
But they'll give you an excuse, or because of funding, or because of this. But if it was another illness, I'm sure there'll be funding for it.
So in that situation, do you then have to either seek private help, or do you now go and get your own medication? What happens in that situation?
I can't. Private help. My parents thought about that once, and literally the amount of times I'm in hospital, you see, my parents would have been broke. They would have been broke. So all I can do, like I say, I have to thank God for the NHS. But they're not perfect, but if it wasn't for the NHS, I don't know where my parents would have been right now.
Yeah. But you are currently getting the support and all the medication that you need right now.
Yeah, it's not 100%, but I'm getting what I need. Yeah, like you said. Yeah.
Okay. Getting what you need. Okay. Awesome. So when it comes to your day to day, let's say, because I know you're saying that a lot of patterns seem to fall down. Okay, one day you're fine, and then the next day, you're in so much pain, you're in so much agony. So what kind of triggers the pain? What happens in a day where it's not really, you're in so much pain? Take me through that. How's that like?
So triggers are weather. It can, how the weather's changing now. 1 minute it's warm, 1 minute cold. That will start a crisis. Stress, tiredness, not eating well, not drinking enough fluids, and sometimes just doing nothing. I could wake up and I'm in pain. But yeah, normal day where I could be with the kids, just me and the kids at home. I'll start having a crisis, and sometimes I just go into panic mode just because I'm with the kids.
Yeah.
There's times where I've had to, call people and everyone's trying to race me at the same time, and I'm needing to go to the hospital because I'm in that much pain, and my kids are just sitting there. Sometimes I feel so bad for them, but they're sitting there watching their mum in so much pain, and there's nothing they can do to help. But on a usual crisis, I'd call the ambulance. If I'm not with the kids, that's easy, get myself ready, call the ambulance and go. But if I have the kids, to wait for, either their dad to come home or my mom to get here, or, my sister, just anyone that.
Yeah, and your family are close by when the kids when you're with the kids?
Yeah, my mom don't live too far, and everyone around me usually drives, so.
Okay, so it's quite. So even when you're in that pain, you're able to call. Is it a unbearable pain to the point where you can't do anything, or you're able to at least call someone in that time?
So when the pain starts, obviously it doesn't just start like bang, it's coming. Some of the time it's coming gradually. So if it starts, I take my own painkillers at home. Wait for a couple of hours. If the pain's still climbing, then I know that okay, next step. Let me start what I'm gonna do with the kids. Sometimes I could wake up at 9 o'clock and I'm in from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I still haven't gone to hospital because it's coming gradually, trying to see if it will go down with my own painkillers. If not, start getting the kids ready. So I'm always ever ready, sort of thing. Because if not, and I lose guard, I will be in unbearable pain, and there'll be nothing I'll be able to do with the kids. So I don't now ever let myself get to the point where it's so bad. Where I'm screaming. there's been times that I've done that, and my husband literally has to carry me out of the door into the ambulance, and I don't want to do that no more. So I'd rather go when, you know, I know it's like, you know, a 7 out of 10. It's not 10 out of 10 where I can't even think straight.
So, because it's even good to know, because I'm also being informed here, because I thought the pain just came suddenly, but not knowing it's a gradual thing. So, at what point where does it affect you first when you feel? How do you know that you're going into a crisis? Where do you feel the pain first?
So you can get a crisis anywhere and everywhere in your body. I've had a crisis in my jaw, crisis in my bum. You can get a crisis anywhere. So you know, my typical places are my legs, my back, and my arms. So when it starts off, I can feel it. You know, sometimes you can feel a tingling pain. Tingling pain. Sorry. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it just it does come 10 out of 10 from nowhere, but most times you will feel it gradually. You will wake up and feel, ow, today I don't feel too good. Ow, let me take my own painkillers. Or later on in the day, oh, my leg is still hurting me. Do you know what I mean? So little by little, then all of a sudden, it's out of hand.
Wow. Okay, so I think everything you've said has just really I I feel so much more informed, because I think sometimes you read on the internet, and you're researching, you're not really getting the real picture.
Yeah.
Really getting the real picture. And then just speaking with you today has just really opened my eyes, and I hope it's educating those that are listening as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Honestly, Debbie, I'm lost for words. I'm actually lost for words to know that you're going through all of this, but yet still you're smiling. You're sailing through. Honestly, I commend you. I thank you. I thank God for your life, for being able to come out and speak about this, because this is what we need to hear. We need to hear what it's like and what we can do to help those that are going through that have sickle cell. How we can be there for them as well. This is absolutely amazing. But as I said, thank you all so much for joining Edifying Moments if you've just joined in. Today I have with me a young lady who goes by the name of Debbie, and that's her social media on there. So please do follow her. So it's Diary of a Sickle Cell Mum. She's really delved and really tapped into the reality of what it is and what it looks like to have sickle cell. And I think this is absolutely incredible. So please do share with anyone that you think would benefit from this. Anyone would benefit from this, if I'm honest, because it's something we all need to know about. So thank you so much. I'm just going to put your social media up as well. Okay. And one of the posts that on one of your posts on Instagram, it was saying you wrote a caption. Sometimes I feel like all these drugs are doing me more harm than good. What caused you to write that that caption on your post?
I take very strong drugs. So imagine, for, like I said, I'm 30 something, 32. Imagine, always for the last 30 years taking these strong drugs. Your liver's going to going to collapse on you. And this is what I like to let people see as well. People just see sickle cell as, pain, you get painkillers and you come home. No, that's it. My organs inside are screaming, like, but you don't see that on the outside. So you think, oh, after the pain, she's okay. No, this is sickle cell is such a killing disease. Because if it's not killing you, God forbid, by the time you've taken all these drugs, your organs are damaged. I can take painkillers sometimes and feel like, you know what, it does worse than it done me good.
Wow.
Sometimes I can't function properly because I've had so much, I take morphine at high doses. And sometimes I've had so much that I feel like I can't even function. So, as a young woman, taking all these drugs, it's doing me harm.
Yeah. It takes its toll on you. And is that something that you worry about, every time you're taking it? Yeah.
Every time I have a consultation with my doctor, I'm like, can we check my liver? Can we check my kidneys? Like, I'm afraid. Obviously, I'm afraid. I don't want to live, go into my early years where I'm going to have grandchildren and thinking that my liver's going to collapse on me. So it's a very hard balance. But also, if I don't take the drugs, I'm going to always be in pain. So, yeah.
Of course. So with everything that, I mean, with all the things that trigger you, when we look at the triggers, what have you done personally to help yourself in terms of the food that you eat? What recommendations would you give to someone who has sickle cell, or who knows of someone who has sickle cell? What advice would you give with regards to the triggers and how to prevent them from happening as well?
This is what I always say: stress-free life, stress-free living. Like I try and not let things worry me too much, because I've noticed, like, you know, throughout university, when I was so stressed with, you know, coursework and that, I'm always ill. Try and don't take, obviously take it serious, but, you know, don't take the things of life too serious. Don't get too stressed. Come on, drink as much as you can. Like my husband's always fighting me, like saying, Debbie, are you drinking water? Are you drinking water? Even though it's so hard, it needs to be done. And just like, I won't say to people, you know, eat a particular food, just eat. Just eat, do you know what I mean? And look after yourself. Just eat, yeah.
And did it cause you to change your diet from an early stage? Because I know maybe certain foods may be of better benefit. Would you say? Would you say you ate more greens, more vegetables?
Yeah, I try. So when I was young, my dad, oh, that man, he would blend peas, just straight up peas and carrots, and start putting in my mouth. You know what I mean? Those things obviously they help, but they're not going to take the crisis away 100%. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, just look after yourself, because if you're well in yourself, it probably will help with not having crisis. So yeah, just eat well, drink well, and be stress free.
So I just want to know, is there a cure for sickle cell?
So they're saying that there's a cure now, which is a stem cell transplant or something like that.
Okay.
I've heard. Personally, if you gave me the option now for that, I wouldn't take it.
Right.
I've heard so many bad things about it. So, you know, there was a person that took it that they became paralyzed, and I feel like from what I've heard, they give you the option either it works or you will die. Is the two options. So at this age now, it's not for me. I wouldn't take it. But that is what is out there. That's what I've heard so far.
Okay. But for you, you wouldn't. For you personally, you wouldn't go down that route. Okay, no. That's completely understandable. It's completely understandable. So when we look at the genotypes, so tell us a bit more about that. What does that mean? What does it entail? What's that all about?
So your genotype, you know, you've got your blood type, like, because people get mixed up. You ask them what's your, you know, genotype, blood type, they'll say O or whatever. No, your genotype is your it's either your AS, AA, SSIM, and you've got others like AC. There's and stuff like that. So your genotype is what determines what, you know, what your child will be born. If your child will be born with sickle cell, if that makes sense what I'm saying. So if you have S, then you have the trait. You have the sickle gene. You have sickle cell trait. So I'm very, very passionate about this subject, because sickle cell is something that doesn't need to happen, if that makes sense.
Okay, explain a bit more.
So if I'm AS and I meet a guy that's AS, I'm not going to get you, because we can later produce a SS child. It's like math. Do you know what I mean? They would. So AS and AS, you're going to have two S's in there, and if you're unfortunate, the child will take the two S's, which was in my case what happened to my parents. You can either have the AA. Also, my husband's AA, so he has no trait. He has nothing. So our kids will just have the trait. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, because they'll take one S from me and the A from their dad.
Right.
So, so when I say does it need to happen, it's because if you know that you're AS and your partner's AS, and there's a 1 in 4 chance that your child will have sickle cell, why would you do it?
How would you do it?
1 in 4 chance. You might think, you know, I've heard so many theories. People say, oh, your first child will never, you know, have get the S's, or your last child will never get your S's, or if you only have two children, then it's all rubbish. If there is 1 in 4 chance, if you're AS and your partner is AS, there is a 1 in 4 chance that child could have. I was the first child of my parents together.
Okay.
And I got it.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yeah,
they
I
both
get
had
you.
their own kids, but I was the first child for both of them together.
Right. Okay.
I was their first child together. Yeah. So they both had other children, but I was their first child together, and I got it.
I see. Because they had the SS in.
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
right.
You. Okay. So it's not, you can't just randomly pick which child's gonna have sickle cell. No, you don't randomly pick. It's whatever you get, literally. So why knowing that would you still do it? If someone said to you there'll be 1 in 4 chance that your child would have AIDS, cancer, or any other serious illness, would you go ahead with it? I very much doubt so. So why is it with sickle cell? It's like we don't see how bad it can get, so we feel like,
we'll deal with it when it comes, or it won't happen to me. Yeah.
And that's not right, because then your child is suffering. I don't blame my parents, because obviously at that time they didn't really know, there wasn't education, and I don't blame anybody else now that is in the same situation as me. It's because there wasn't education. But if you knowingly know this stuff and you do it because of we are in love, that's selfishness. I'm sorry. Like, I've been bashed for saying this before. I'm not saying it for the people that don't know. If you don't know, it's, a lot of us don't know certain things and we do it. But you know. I've had people with sickle cell getting with someone with sickle cell trait.
Wow.
What are you doing? So, yeah.
And wait, I know, obviously, you knowing that you had sickle cell, that was obviously at the forefront of your mind when it came to a partner. So at what stage did you mention that to your husband, your now husband? How was the conversation of, let's find out what your genotype was? How was that? How did you guys get to that point?
As soon as I knew that it was serious enough that we were going somewhere together. As soon as I knew that, and even that's too late. I'm not going to lie to you. That in itself is too late. Like, at that time, I wasn't practicing what I was preaching now. That was too late. Because at that time, you've already got feelings. At that time, you're already, you can see yourself with that person and all this stuff. That's too late. It should be the first, do you have children? It should be number one. Because it's the future of your child. It should be number one, if I'm honest. Like, because literally, when I talk about my life, I keep saying that it's literally God has held me on a piece of string. I could have been dead. There's so many times that my parents thought they had lost me. Yeah. And I know that now, if they could change the hands of time, not that they would, not have me again, but they would have educated themselves, and like, sickle cell is a joke. The thing where my friends are and where I am, like, I'm crawling behind, and that's because of the challenges I've had in life. I'm always in hospital. I'm always ill. Like, I should have, there's so much things I've wanted to do in life, so much opportunities, so much dreams that I can't do. I couldn't do. I went to uni to study airline and airport management. I don't know what I was thinking there. But can I use that? No, I can't. Literally, the child will have nearly zero life. Sickle cell is hard. It is not a joke. Sickle cell is so hard. And because people see, you're dressed one day, you've got your kids, you're this, they think, it is hard. Sometimes I put so much weight on my partner, and he should have to bear all that weight because there's 2 parents. I mean, sickle cell is hard. I know life in itself is hard, but sickle cell is hard.
Yeah.
I always think about my children. I always pray that God give me time with these kids, because I know death, everybody, that's one thing that is promised in this life is death. But I keep telling God, not before my children are grown. Please, Father.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave my children. And that is always in my mind because I have a serious condition. I've lost friends to sickle cell. I've lost friends to sickle cell. So it's not a joke. So if you really know that giving birth or being with someone, you will give birth to a child, even 1 in 4 chance, and you're still going to do it, then the words for you.
Yeah, because I think some people are not aware of what it is. I think it's one thing being told, okay, this is what could happen, and there's another thing living that.
Exactly.
So I really appreciate your honesty, and I just hope and pray that those that are currently in a situation or even in the future are going into relationships. This is something that even me as myself personally, it's not something I actually would think about, but having spoken having spoken with you now, it's really brought it to light to think, actually, these are elements where these are conversations that you need to have. As much as you may, you talk about your future and things like that, but you also need to think about the things that you do now that would affect that future as well. So I really, really appreciate your honesty, and I know that it's hard. I can only imagine what you're going through, but it's good to know that you're using your platform as well on social media. I want us to talk a bit more about that. What caused you to take that step to come out on social media? Because social media can be a very, very mean and cruel place. It can be a very, very cruel place, and sometimes you find yourself being so vulnerable, trying to do the good thing and help people, but people are bashing. People are in your DMs. People are saying, "Oh, why are you doing this?" So firstly, I just want to know what led up to the point where you said, okay, you know what, I'm going to set up this profile and I'm going to tell my story and share and help people. What brought that about?
Just the awareness. Like I said before, I would never speak about sickle cell. Like, even I'll pretend I didn't even know what it was at a point. Like, I just didn't want to associate me with it. But it came to a point in my life, I thought, no, people need to actually see my story, see my life, and realize that sickle cell it's not a joke. It is something very serious. So that's what made me start it.
Awesome. So when you started the page, how has the feedback been? Have people reached out? How you're building a community right now? So take me through, how has the journey been since you decided?
It has been absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I done it. Like, I feel like a little mini advocate, like people message me through the night. You can't ask my husband. I have phone calls from different countries.
Wow.
In the middle of the night, like, my daughter's sick, the doctor's saying this, what should I do? People messaging me, like, my partner's this, what, like, it's been amazing. I'm so glad that I've been able to help other people. It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
That's good. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, because you find that so many people are going through so many things. They can't speak to family members. They can't even speak to friends. So knowing that you're available and you're putting your life out there to know that, okay, someone is actually going through something I'm going through, and they can relate. So just out of curiosity, what's the demographic with the people that come in contact you with regards to whether the ethnic groups, whether it's Black, Caucasian, what kind of people reach out?
Mostly Black, mostly Black. Black. I've had a few people from Middle East.
Okay.
Which I'm very shocked about, but mostly Black.
Yeah. And within the Black community, what do you think we can do more to bring more awareness? What can we do? Not just posting on social media, because I think we have to do a lot more. We have to do so much more. What do you think we could do within the Black community to bring more awareness for sickle cell and just helping within the community?
Things like what you and him are doing is amazing. Through like lives like this, I've had a few lives since this lockdown period, and the amount of people that reached out to me and said, "Oh, I saw you on the live. It was so informative. It was so this, like, so things like this are amazing." And like you said, also posting, educating yourself as well. Educate yourself, because if the more you know, the more you know what to do. So yeah.
Sure. Awesome. So where do you see your platform with regards to social media? What's your plans? What do you want to do? Can we expect a workshop? Obviously post-COVID, obviously with social distancing. What can we expect from the platform that you're building? What can we expect from you? What are your plans?
So I'm going to be very selfish, but I had plans to lean towards motherhood with sickle cell.
Okay.
So even before COVID, it's my nephew writing a little message. Hi, Brian. But yeah, before COVID, I had plans of starting, mothers that have just had children with sickle cell.
Okay.
Or if you're a mother that has sickle cell, like, little, I don't know what to call it, not workshops, but little, days out for us, because sometimes you need people to talk to, you need friends, even though I have friends, like I said, maybe 5 friends, they've all got their lives as well. They don't want to always sit in there, be hearing, and we have nothing in common when it comes to that. But then if I speak to other people that, have children with sickle cell or their mother with sickle cell, there's things we can speak about, educate ourselves on, and other things. That's what I wanted to do before COVID. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Sure. And I'm hoping that, I think you can still definitely streamline and go towards that direction. I think as time goes on, you'll be able to develop that side of things. Obviously, post-COVID and things like that, things will be a bit less restrictive as well. So during this time of COVID, I also know that you probably are one of the you would be named as high risk, if I'm right in saying. So how has being at home during the lockdown, how was that whole time for you?
It wasn't really anything too different for me. I'm always literally at home anyway, like mostly always at home anyway. So I wasn't, people were going insane at home. I was sort of, it's nothing new for me, but it did get tiring because I usually have help with the kids at weekdays. I had a nanny of my health, but through that period she didn't come. But then also it showed me my strength, because even when she wasn't there, I was able to, work, do what I had to do with the kids, get up, get them ready, do everything I had to do. So yeah. Oh my
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's go through some of these comments. Honestly, this has been a really, really great conversation, and I see we have a little guest.
Yeah.
Hello. You want to join us in our conversation? Awesome. Let's just go through some of these comments. As you can see on the screen, we've got great education. I'm so glad that people have come on, and obviously this is also going to be on our YouTube page. So also like, comment, subscribe to the page, share it. For those that weren't able to access it today, share it. This has been a really, really good conversation, because I think so many times, you hear someone has sickle cell, they have sickle cell, but you don't really understand the depth to what they face and how you as an individual can really help. Just be there. If someone is going through a crisis, let them know. Call me. I'll be there for you. All they need sometimes. And this is really opened my eyes, and I hope it's helped a lot of people that have tuned in today. It's been good. It's been really, really good. I'm so glad that you spent your time. You availed yourself, and you became so vulnerable with me this evening to just pour out everything that you're going through. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So just gonna go through. Oh, I think there's one more. The NHS offer. That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have to pay to get the test?
So when my partner got it, because of me, my sickle cell nurse done it for him. So I've people have asked me how to get tests. I thought that the GP's done it, but then I've had people tell me. I've had people tell me that no, they've asked their GP, and their GP said that they had to do it in a health center and stuff like that. So it's very true. It should be a free test that can be accessed at your GP.
It should be. Loving your bonnet, by the way. Awesome. And I've got another message from I think it was a family friend.
Yes, my nephew.
Awesome. Yes. God bless you. Fantastic. But before we bring everything to a close, honestly, I pray and hope that this will not be the last time we have this conversation. It'll be good to have this as an open forum where people can ask questions a bit more, and let's really engage with one another. Hopefully we can do a live show.
I would love that.
Hopefully that'll be really good. But tell me a bit more more about your business. I'm just going to put that on here now. Your little cupcake business. Little cupcake business. Tell me a bit more how it came about, the social media on the page now. No problem.
So yeah, I think I had just had Ava, and I was at home. I just thought, I need something to do. So I went onto the internet and looked for, I didn't know how to make cupcakes. I looked for a course, went to learn, and then just, got myself a machine and just started doing it. I started doing it for family and friends first. Then I got a few orders here and there. So yeah. So guys, if you need cupcakes.
Nice. Yes, please make sure I'm going to put her Instagram page there. If you are looking for cupcakes, so you do deliveries, birthday, kind of occasion.
Yeah.
Fantastic. She's catering for all kinds of occasions. So make sure you follow Debbie on her cupcake business. As well as that, please do make sure you follow Debbie on her Instagram page, which is a diary of Sickle Cell Mum. This evening has been amazing. Do you have any last words for those that are listening? Any advice for anyone that has sickle cell, or anyone that knows of someone that has sickle cell? What would be your last words to those listening this evening?
I'm gonna quickly say two things. I did say that my dad really tried to shelter me and all that stuff. In saying that, even though he tried to do the best that he can for me, as any parent would, I'm glad that I lived my life. I still went to those uni raves. I'll come back sick, but I experienced life. So as a parent, shelter your kids, but not too much.
Okay.
Not too much. Let them still live their life. Because there's certain things that I'm glad I've done. I was young. I needed to get certain things out, and live life and experience life. So, like I said, shelter your kids, protect your kids, but also let them see life. Let them, live their life. And lastly, about that genotype thing, guys, it's serious. It's important. Know your genotype. Get tested before you get a relationship, so that by the time you meet someone, you already know what you are. There's no trying to figure out what you are, and get the test done beforehand.
Sure.
Thank you.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. Today has been amazing. Honestly, I've left here. I'm definitely leaving here fully informed and also just enlightened as well. It's been absolutely amazing. Honestly, your life is an inspiration. I cannot wait to see how far, and I know that your platform is going to build to reach more people. And as well as that, your launch of the motherhood, combining the sickle cell with motherhood, and also your cupcake business. You've got things happening, and which is good, which is absolutely amazing. Just because you have sickle cell doesn't mean you become stagnant. You can still do things. You can still use your time wisely. Being at home, even through everything you're sailing through. And honestly, I just want to say thank you so much for helping me, for helping those on here. Honestly, please do not stop what you're doing. We're supporting you all the way. Please make sure you follow Debbie on her social media platforms. As I've said, please support. If you have any questions, ask her. If you have any queries, whatever you have, just send her a DM. She's available. She's ready to help, and she's ready to answer any questions. But thank you once again for your time, for your honesty. It's been fantastic. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to see what is in store for you. And all the best with everything that you're doing, your family, and let's your little girl, your husband. We've got to celebrate your husband for everything that he's doing. God bless him, and also your family and your parents for giving birth to such an amazing woman such as yourself. It's been great, and I just want to say have a good evening and also a great week. Take care. I'll speak to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Thank you all so much this evening for joining me on Edifying Moments, which is brought to you by Ladies in Waiting, where we motivate, educate, and edify, and empower women. Today has been absolutely amazing. If you have had a good time, please do make sure you comment and let us know what you learned today about sickle cell. It was it was a very, very good conversation, which I must say so myself. And it's always good to ask questions. It's good to ask questions, to be informed. If you don't know something, we have the internet to our disposal. So please as we're in the month of sickle cell awareness, please educate yourselves. We'll be also having another lady in the next 2 weeks where we'll be talking a bit more about sickle cell again, where we'll be speaking and finding out about her experience as well. So please, if you have any questions, make sure you follow us on our social media platforms, which is right on the screen now. Send us a DM if you know of anyone that has sickle cell that may need some support, that may need a friend. Please let us know who needs to talk to someone. Please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to reach out to them as well. We're here to help each other. That's what we're here about. That's what we're all about. Here to help and motivate each other. It's absolutely been amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you for sharing. Yes, it was very much so an inspiring story to all of us. Definitely, definitely. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to host you guys. Honestly, we can't have this show without you guys. So please, please, please follow us on our social media platforms. Like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Also follow us on our social media platform on Ladies in Waiting, where we'll have all the latest on what's happening with our interviews, whatever we have going on as well. And as I said, please make sure you support Debbie on her cupcake business as she's starting out. She's at her small cupcake business. Please make sure you follow her. If you've got an occasion, please make sure you send an email or a DM, and also follow her on her Diary of a Sickle Cell Instagram page. Well, thank you all so much once again for tuning in to Edifying Moments. It has been amazing. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have. Please share, as I said. And in the next 2 weeks, on Thursday, same time, same place, I'll be joining with another young lady who will be talking to us about her journey into sickle cell. So in the meantime, if you have any questions, if you will need to speak to anyone with regards to this topic, or there's something that we didn't touch upon, please do make sure you message us on our social media platform. It's been great. You've been great. And I just want to wish you all a fantastic evening. Please make sure you are keeping safe. Coronavirus is still around, so let us always make sure we take the necessary precautions, whether that be wearing a face mask, social distancing, and staying home and working from home if you can. I think we have some more comments coming through. I'm just going to share those. Thank you for joining us. It's been great. Thank you so much for spending your evening with me. It's been amazing. Thank you all so much. Have a great week, and I look forward to meeting with you all once again in the next 2 weeks, where we will continue with our series of sickle cell awareness. Have a good night and take care. Bye-bye.